Chris Allen, and this is the Chris Allen MMA show. I'm speaking to someone who I've known for a little while now. I've chatted to in person at his events. I've chatted to on other podcasts in the past. It's Bellator's own Mr. Kent Kauppinen. Kent, mate, how you doing? Sorry, Kent the Hammerhorn Kauppinen.
I'm doing very well, thank you, my friend. How are you?
Yeah, really good, mate. I think the same as everyone, just trying to keep ourselves busy and find something to do. Like, what have you been doing with yourself, mate, to keep normal and sane, let's say?
It's quite a hard one to answer, isn't it? Because I'm just trying to do what I was doing previously. So I get up in the mornings, I have breakfast, or like this morning I got up, I trained, took Alan for a walk, and then the other thing which I lose out on is my friendship, and then obviously the social communication side with the coaches and the body language, and like now we're sat here face to face over a phone. Like the podcast I'd love to do it face to face, not over the phone, but so that's the stuff I struggle with is the social side. Like I love being out and I love talking to people, but at the end of the day, I set what's going on. So and I know it's not going to last forever. So in my head, it's just one of those mental blocks you've got to beat. And for me, it's quite easy, and I know how to just knock those walls down.
Well, yeah, because you're quite an outgoing person. You're always out and about doing things, you know, even if it's not with the friends, with your best friend who's sitting next to you, your little dog. Do you know what I mean? I know you've always got. Where is he?
I'm gonna pick him up. He's gonna hate me. He's flat out asleep, and I've just picked him up.
There he is. Solid name, Alan the dog, just like my surname.
Yeah, strong name. It's a strong name, honestly. It's a strong name because you look at him. He is a stacked dog. Like if you've seen him on my photos and that, like he's. So I've been feeding him.
My favourite video of you and the dog, I know I've said in the past, is when you do your Simba and Mufasa.
It was funny enough. This morning we were sat in the garden led there, and I had this ball like this. And he kept jumping up again, and I pinched him, and I was like, "No, Simba!" Just dropped him again, and he just looked so innocent, dropping back. It's good. I
don't. Poor thing, mate. But hey, at least you got someone to keep you company, mate. You know.
There's that as well. Yeah, he is. He's great. Like if I'm not doing training or if I'm not reading, I'm messing around with him or talking over the FaceTime to friends. Yeah, he's great, man. It's good friendship to have.
That's it, mate.
What have you been up to? Because you've got your own show now, and podcast, right?
That's it. So I thought I took it on myself to start my own podcast show. A lot of people would have heard me before on Martial Arts Chat podcast, which I still am friends with the owner of that, of course. But you know, during these times, he advised me, you know, you should go on your own, and that's when you know you're working with someone really well because they're happy to let you go and do your own thing, you know. So setting this up, looking after a 12-week pregnant wife, which we are announced now. Do you know what I mean?
Congratulations for announcing.
Thank you, mate. So obviously we keeping her locked away at the moment because she's classed as high risk.
Yeah, of course, understandable.
But the good thing is that she's classed in the over 70s, so she gets to go in the supermarket with all the old people in the morning.
She gets the 9 till 10 slot, does she?
So that's it, mate. So I've got lots of stuff to keep busy with, and again, I know we're all sitting around not doing a lot. So what a perfect time to chat to you all, and you know, let's just get some sort of human interaction going on.
Yeah, exactly. How do you find not going out as much? Do you find that hard?
Do you know what the worrying thing is that everyone's like, we're now in isolation, and I feel like my life hasn't changed at all. I'm still staying in. The only difference is that I haven't got people coming round and stuff like that, you know.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
So what do you do then? Like you said, you're doing training and stuff. How limited are you to what training you can and can't do at the moment, and what are you actually doing?
Well, you can't. There's no pad work. There's no grappling. There's no any interaction with another person. So it's literally all I'll be doing would be like skipping this morning, and then this evening I'm going to do a hangboard session again on the Beastmaker I've got hung above the door, and they're brilliant because they're great for finger strength and increasing the tendon strengths. So I've been doing that. skipping really, and shadow boxing. I've got a big 6-foot dummy in the garden. I throw about a bit. But yeah, otherwise than that, man, just trying to balance something out. Like as long as I tick over, because I know I'm not going to get any pad work. I know I'm not going to get any grapple. So I'm not going to get any sparring. So what can I do, and what can I work on? Make sure that when I come back, the things I wasn't very good at are now up to the level where I'm very good at.
Yeah, it's just, I said, it's such a shame this has happened when it has, sort of thing. Obviously, it's a shame if it happened at any time, but you know, you just come off for like a fantastic win. You know, you've had a fantastic fight against Melvin before. You know, one of the legends of the sports.
Yeah,
You know, when all the I know we spoke about it in the past, mate, but that is the name on the resume, isn't it? You know, you're winning. You've won as soon as you step in there with Melvin.
Yeah, and like I said, and the 3 rounds, like not over the fact that you stepped in the octagon with Melvin Manoff, it's the fact that I went 3 rounds. People still watch that, like views on YouTube, like so it's great. Yeah, it was real big achievement.
Well, the fight had everything, you know. Like I think even Melvin was shocked that, you know, it shows how strong your chin is and stuff like that. I think that's the one you posted on Facebook recently of him landing that straight, and it's just amazing. Like even he was like, "Oh my god, this guy just keeps coming back." And I think that's what people loved about the fight. You dropped him, he dropped you. You know, it was back and forth, and it was a close fight at the end of the day.
Yeah, very tight. Like I said, if it wasn't Melvin Manoff, I would have beat him, because mentally I wouldn't have been. Oh yeah, I'm just happy to be here to fight, man. Legend, man. Like if it wasn't him, but like I said, I won't make that mistake again, because I won't fight Melvin Manoff again. So the next fight I'll fight, whoever it is. Obviously, right now no one's got fights, but whoever it is, I'm just going to steam through them again. And also this delay, like you think November, it's been 5 months now. The next time minimum September, I reckon. October, November, maybe November, December, like a January card. Who knows, man? So
that is the problem, man. That is the problem, because this could all be over in a couple of months. Let's hope to God it is. But how long is it going to be letting public gatherings happen again, like Bellators and, you know, big events? They might say, look, for the rest of the 2020, we've got to write it off and get this out of the system.
I did read that apparently if a person infected now is infecting 0.62% of people, so there's a 50% chance. I was infected and I crossed 2 people, there's a 50% chance one of them might get it, where before it was at 2.24. So the numbers have dramatically come down, but how long do we know if it's going to carry on spreading? Isolation things obviously slowing it down, and this is what I think is key, just to make sure we just stay inside, smash this out. Yeah, it's crap, but I'd rather 3 months of isolation, or the last 3 months of crap, or than delaying it and going on for 8-9 months.
No, I completely agree. Everyone needs to just stick to what we're supposed to be doing. But I work in transport industry myself, and the amount of people booking up like taxis or certain coach hires and stuff, say, "Oh, I'm going to go around and see my mates. I'm going to go see my mum, go see my nan." I'm like, do none of you watch the news?
Yeah,
you know, I'm thinking that
it's like they're oblivious to the world.
Yeah, they're the law within themselves. Like, I'm going to put my hands up. You know, initially when this all came out, I was a bit like, oh, we're all overreacting a little bit here. You know, like the media's blown this out of proportion, but I'll put my hands up and say I was wrong. You know, this is something that spread really quickly. And mate, I've never washed my hands so much in my life, you know, and maybe this is what we all need to keep us more hygienic.
yeah, but it's bad. It's bad when I've heard people like who don't wash their hands. They're like, oh, I've got to wash my hands. Like, what you mean you don't wash your hands? Like, do you not wash your hands for food? Well, no, not really. It's like, what? Really? Before your food, you won't sit down, wash your hands, and then sit down and eat? No, not really. If I don't really think about it, that's where we're going wrong, isn't it? That's where we're going wrong.
It. Well, look how quickly we pass around the common cold. For God's sake, it's called the common cold. It just shows how quickly we pass these things around.
Yeah, no, it's I've seen, because we're quite a small town, and some of the people here are not great, intelligent level. And like the other day, like now, I can look onto the main road. Obviously not right this very moment, but I can look on the main road and I see people by brushing into each other, stopping and talking within a meter or half a meter or even 6 inches away from each other, and then walking on. And I'm like, but then I see people who are crossing. And it's like, well, where's the actual line? Like, we need the line. Like, in this town, there's a lot of idiots and there's a lot of over the top people. I can't find, obviously, the people like me who just accept that we have to stay inside for a certain amount of time. They're just staying inside and not getting out.
No, this and you're completely right. It's happening too often. Down my road here recently, they caught some people having a picnic. There were 10 of them. They had a shisha out. They had loads of food out, having a picnic. And the police turn up and like, "What are you doing?" You know, it's like, but
just chilling. What are you doing?
Yeah, mate, chill, man. But that. The police will start putting up roadblocks now around here, mate. You know, they're stopping people, asking where they're going and all this sort of stuff, especially if it's during the day.
You see, there's a story on Facebook. A guy got pulled over, and they were like, "Is your journey essential?" And he was like, "Yeah, of course it is." And they were like, "Well, where are you going?" He's like, "I've just picked up some weed." And they're like,
Fair enough.
Well, the point isn't like you're going to make everyone sit inside for a certain amount of time. Like, just turn your blind eye to it, cops. You know what I mean? Like, give the guy a break. Like, he could go home. He could go home and he could have 4 kids there, a wife, and they're all drilling into him. He just wants to sit back and have a puff, and now he can't because he's been fined £100 probably. Now he's been put all over the news as well. Like, that's the right twat. I feel quite bad for him. Like, you can imagine that. Like, oh yeah, I'm going to pop out. No one's going to pull me over. Pop out. 15 minutes into your journey, you get pulled over. After just picking up, you get pulled over. Like, oh, look, officer, it's only 20 quid. Like, it's only 20 quid's worth of weed. Like, come on. And they still like, no. Took it off him, fined him. Like, come on, give the guy a break.
That copper blatantly took it home himself. Such a liar.
100%. He is smoking that right now. He was supposed to be on shift an hour ago, and he is sat there blazing up a mate with his weed.
Yeah, why not? They're all just sitting around their cop cars doing nothing at the moment. So they might as well keep.
Mate, I'll tell you a weird one. So a friend of mine went out metal detecting, and stupidly there's 3 of them, so not too bad, and they all live together, so it's not too bad. Like, they live together, so they went out metal detecting. Cops pulled them. Well, I say pulled them. One of them was sat in the car. And the other 2 were out metal detecting. The other one was like, I don't want to metal detect anymore, it's quite boring. And then the cops pulled up and they were like knocking on the window, like, excuse me, what are you doing out here? And he's like, oh, my mate lost his phone, because obviously metal detecting isn't the most legal thing of doing. He's like, oh, my mate lost his phone, so he's gone to look for it. And they're like, okay, well, let's just take you home then. Oh, okay, well, is your mate fit and healthy? And yeah, he's fit and healthy. Okay, well, we'll just take you home then. So they took him home, and that was it. I was like, he was on the way home. He said to me, he was like, "Oh, you must be quite busy. What's going on?" And she's like, "No, not really. That's why we don't mind taking you back." And it's like, okay.
So much for social distancing in the police car.
Well, I did think this as well. Like, there's 2 coppers there, so he's now sat in the car with 2 coppers who've interacted with hundreds of other people.
Exactly. It's just, mate, I don't know. They're just bored, I think, out there, mate. And at the end of the day, they're key workers.
Yeah,
and that's what you can say about the drug dealers as well. Probably they're key workers as well.
Well, of course, around my small area, around my area, there's a lot of them. Well, there's a lot of known them because it's such a small area, and they're all like, you just know they're all sweating, thinking, oh, how am I going to pay for my kid's flipping birthday meal and that?
Yeah, that's fair enough. That's a good way to put it. I'll tell you what, right, before we get in trouble about talking about how drug dealers are doing a good job out there on the streets at the moment, stuff like that.
I never said they were doing a good job. I said they were doing a job.
They're doing a job. Okay, fair enough, man. I just want to quickly go back to back to last November. Let's flash back to last November, where you obviously last win at Bellator London. One thing I did notice a lot that you seem to have. Well, I'll ask you first if you think this is true. What did you work on after the Melvin fight a lot? Because I saw definitely a few improvements in that second fight for sure.
Yeah, so I'm quite lucky. I've got a high-level boxing coach, Mark Kent at Contenders, and then my kickboxing coach, Stu Pike, and then Dan Hughes at Scorpions, who are my kickboxing coach. They're all separate, so I just went to them, and they all had their own idea, and they said, "Oh, this is what you could have done." So I tweaked it from the boxing side, and then my two kickboxing coaches and tweaked it on that side. Because again, we know that I want to stand, I want to bang. We knew Melbourne after the Melbourne one. We knew people were going to try to take us down. So again, we worked on just a lot of distances, movement, and making sure that whenever someone was going to shoot in, I was in a position to defend it. I was never leaving myself vulnerable because again, Andy Manzola was BJJ, judo, black belt, and jiu-jitsu. So I knew instantly he was going to try and take me to the floor. As soon as one of the shots was going to land, he was going to try to take me to the floor. So we're working on the distances, the time, the space, the movement. I think that was mainly it. It was just crisping things up. I don't think I wasn't mentally, I wasn't in the right frame of mind to fight Alvin Manor because again, he was one of the people I looked up to when I was younger. So I worked on that as well with a guy called Stu. Worked on the mental side of it as well. So all them together, and again, my nutrition was right. I worked on my nutrition. So my nutrition, my training, and my mental was all working at the same time, working at the same rate together. And that's why I think that when I came out, I was sharp.
Yeah, you look very sharp. And one thing I really noticed was, the leg kicks you were throwing as well. Looked like you may have been working on them quite a bit. He did not enjoy them at all, did he? Those leg kicks, not one little bit.
No. I'm taking this off. Stripping for you now. No,
here we go.
Yeah, but no. See, the thing is, there's two fights previously, and I know the opponents were one on the Bellator caliber when I fought them, but two of the fights in my previous fights, I won by leg stoppages, and both by 3 leg kicks. I didn't throw any punches. One of them, the first one was 3 leg kicks, and then one after, funny enough, was in exactly the same position on the octagon, in the same octagon, same position, same side, 3 leg kicks, and beat him again. And again, I know the opposition wasn't as high a caliber as the Bellator standard is, but to beat anyone with 3 kicks.
Yeah, mate, those leg kicks were instantly putting welts in his leg straight away. He, as you said, he was going to look for that takedown. You threw a leg kick. He actually went to check a leg kick, but you still caught him lovely. And I think it was his left leg. And he went for the takedown straight away. And just when he went for that takedown, he looked like he'd never thrown a takedown in his life. It just shows the obviously training you've done for the takedown defense. Would you agree?
Yeah, no, 100%. And also, again, his legs jacked up. Like, his legs jacked up, and he's gone from being able to walk normally to go, oh, crap, what's going on? So it's with that as well. And again, yeah, with the timing. Because the first time he went to the takedown, he stepped in and shot, or kind of half shot, but I've just pivot round on him and pivoted him. And let's say, just working on movement. It didn't let him get close enough to me. I knew he was coming in. I just stepped off him and pivot, and he went away. So yeah, no, it was a good fight because I knew he was going to want to take me down. I knew anyone who's not a half decent striker in Bellator will want to take me down, 100%. Everyone who is a half decent striker thinks they want to stand, and then they'll get hit, and then they'll want to take me down.
Yep, that's usually how it works with you, because obviously you've had a good solid boxing career as well, and background as well. I know you competed just in straight up boxing, but I know you told me before it's MMA now. You've left the boxing behind, sort of thing, which is obviously good to hear as well. More focus on the MMA sort of game. And you're right. But he went to take you down. You stuffed it lovely, and look, it must be nice to finish a guy by submission on the floor as well. Seeing as you're such a dominant stand-up fighter.
Yeah. No. Yeah, I think I've had 3 submissions. Again, I don't class it as a submission. To me, I class it as him giving up. Like, I know it was a submission, he tapped, etc. But like, as his factors, everyone knows you can easily get out of that position. The forearm choke crosser, and I've done it multiple times in training, and people who are lighter than me just brush it off. Like, move it. Like, my grip's good, but you can't vice someone elbow. I do think at that point in time, and he's a black belt. Come on, like if he knew he could get out of that, He was led there, and he was just like, fuck that.
So do you agree with the commentators then? Because commentators were saying afterwards, they said, it was an early tap. He just gave up, sort of thing, because he knew his leg was jacked, sort of thing. Personally, I wouldn't like a forearm in the throat myself. It did look pretty painful, don't get me wrong, but as you said, it's quite a common ground move to transition and things like that.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, it's a common position to being half guard to put the forearm across the choke. But it's, like I said, yeah, I agree with the commentators. It was, you could, yeah. When I watch it back, you can just see in him he didn't want any more of it.
No, not at all. And his leg was jacked anyway. You could see from at the end of the fight, and
broke it.
Yeah, did it actually break his leg?
Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, he messaged me, and I messaged him and just said, "Yo, I hope you're okay. How's the leg?" And he replied, "I've got MRI." And I just said, "Let me know." And then the next day, he had his MRI, and he said that it was fractured. So yeah, I didn't break it; I fractured it.
Bloody hell, man! You kick like a bloom, like with a baseball bat legs, man. Jesus, no one's definitely going to be staying with you. But again, if people do want to take you down, at least you can jack their legs up, because once the legs are gone, the takedowns are harder and everything like that.
But again, it's great for me because, like, right now they're seeing, like with the Sakara fight, they saw the power in the stand up. They've seen the power in the kicks. Like, maybe the next fight I might take someone down. Like,
we'll have to wait and see.
Because I can't. Well, it depends on who it is, obviously. But I know I can deliver on the floor as well, and once I get control, and you think standing up I can lay some punches. Imagine what it is like when I'm in a strong position, leaning into someone with all my weight and my hips driving in, and then my left hooks and my right hooks powering down. I can't wait. Like, I want to. I've not shown anything about me. You've seen what? Minute and 30 with Sakara, 15 minutes of me and Manoff, but someone just who showed you that I could survive a fight after getting demolished.
But you weren't dominated in any way, such form. I'd like to say in that Melvin fight.
Yeah, thank you very much. I do appreciate that. Even when I did get hit hard by the kick and the punch, I was still somehow been able to find a way to carry on the fight and not get finished. And then with Manzoli, you only saw a minute and 2 minutes, and then just me kicking, and then him trying to take me down. So no one's seen the whole package. They've seen a little bit here, a little bit here, a little bit here. And like I say, as I'm growing now with my coaches, the team around me who are helping me, and how we're growing together, like, the flow's amazing. So yeah, I'm looking forward to getting back in there.
Yeah, I bet you can't wait to get back in there, mate, especially coming off the wins like that as well, and such a great fight with Melvin, your last few fights, really, I'll never forget the first proper fight I saw him, obviously the Sakara fight, and I'll never forget that fight, because, don't hate me for saying it, okay, but I felt like they chucked you to the wolves in that fight, okay? Yeah. They sent you to Italy, they chucked you to the wolves, obviously you were coming off a couple of fights before that, and then when you just dropped him, I was just like, it's gone quiet in here.
Yeah, I think I posted that the other day as well. I posted some of my boxing fights on Instagram, and my the whole of them, just because, why not? People can watch them if they want to watch the fights. And I posted one of that, and when I was watching the highlights back of it, and he just when he got flattened, and then all you hear is John McCarthy shout out, and that is. And hear his voice just lower down a little bit, because the whole 5,000 people just silenced. And I agree with you, man. We all know I got thrown to wolves. It's same in boxing with journeyman, etc. They've got to have the big stars winning. So
Did you feel a bit like your back was against the cage in that fight as well? Did you think, right, if I don't win this, and that's probably me done with Bellator sort of thing now?
No. Well, again, so I never. So I had my job, had a job. Okay, I had a good daytime job, and then I was working the doors on the Friday, Saturday night. So I was earning good money. Boxing was there, and then I was like coming off 2 losses of Bellator. Made some money off it. I was like, all right, cool. Well, I'm not bothered about losing anymore. Like, I'm not bothered about the money because I've got a job, I've got the career. I'm not going to make it as a fighter. And then obviously when this Sakara fight come along, they offered me more money, and I was like, sweet, I'll just take it. And then my coach was like, no. If you win this, if you train like we know you can train, you could win a contract. And I was like, okay. So yeah, we put in the motions of training hard properly for it. And that's what they didn't back on. They thought that was the 2 fights they saw me of Walter and Fabian. They thought that was my standard. Like, that was me without any training for 6 years. They were trained apart from fighting, like literally all I was surviving on was just fighting. Like, if you went back through the white collar fights, looked at my old MMA fights, like I was just fighting anyone, anywhere, just for money. And then got offered that, and it was like, okay, sweet, yeah, okay. If we win this, we can get a contract. So I thought, all right, I'll put the work in and let my hands go like I should do, and that's how it is.
The next thing you know, you're fighting against one of the legends of the sport in Melvin as well. So it all just snowballed out of control, really, didn't it? And then obviously you had your win in your last fight. I don't know if you're allowed to mention it at all, but because we had Bellator on May 16th in London, unfortunately, it's been cancelled like every other event at the moment. Was that something you were approached to be a part of as well, or not?
No. I said to them I'll fight any show, and they just, with the May one, they said to me that it was already full. So I was like, okay, and they said they'll look at getting on me one June or July. Sorry.
That's right, mate.
Yeah, no, they said they'll look to get June or July. Obviously, when this pandemic happened, I just messaged him and just said, look, obviously with what's going on, I'm guessing there's going to be no fights, and that's how it is. There'll be nothing until they know. So I'm just going to be sat here with Alan until then.
That's it, mate. That's it. Priorities. I like it. And but at the end of the day, though, mate, you're still a Bellator fighter. You're still contracted to their organisation. You know, that's just got to be fantastic in itself, as it is. Lots of people out there losing their jobs at the moment. Fine, I appreciate that you can't fight at the moment, but at the end of the day, you know, you've still got a fantastic organisation to return to after all this madness. So hopefully that's giving you a bit of drive and a bit of drive and a bit of positivity. You know, to continue doing what you're doing.
Massively. I know they paid. I think they paid the last show, which got cancelled. They paid all the fighters, and I think that was great from Bellator.
Yeah, very.
Yeah, did you know about that?
I did as well. No, I didn't actually. Be fair, but are they going to claim back 80% from the government as well?
Probably not on. I think. Well, the last show which they cancelled, I think they cancelled it like a couple hours before. They paid all the fighters. Obviously now they've told everyone all the shows have been cancelled. I don't think they will pay, like the May 16th. I don't think he'll pay them.
Oh, okay.
But he paid the last one. Again, they're in a situation where they've got 200, 150 fighters, 100 fighters. I don't know how many it is, all on the books, and they've got to keep them happy. Like, so you talked to Charlie the other day, didn't you?
Yeah.
Fabian, they're fighters. They're full time. Myself, who else is a full time fighter? Whoever's a full time fighter, we're now just sat here waiting. But again, like I said, once this all blows over, I'm gonna come back and be excited to come back. Everyone wants to, hopefully they'll put on a couple of shows early doors in England. I can bounce back and have a win and another win straight away. It's just one of those surreal situations when you're like, I'm just sat here waiting.
because you know you're going to fight again. It's almost like that waiting for on the night, waiting for your fight to come around. You know it's coming. It's just the anticipation of like, when is it going to happen, and will it even happen this year? Is what I'm more worried about. And if it does, I personally think it will be behind closed doors if it happens this year.
Yeah.
I think 2020 they're going to stop everything. I think they're just going to say, look, let's run this year out. If you want to compete, yes, fine, but you're all going to have to do it behind closed doors. And I hope I'm wrong. Don't get me wrong. I do hope I'm wrong. But
yeah, or more with a certain amount of numbers, with a restriction. Maybe 50 people can be there with the fighters, and obviously with the coaching, medical, TV, etc. Hope if it comes to that sound like I have fought in front of 5 people. I have fought in front of 17,000 people at the O2. I have fought in front of no one for money. Like, the mental side of it, I have no problem with. Like that would be great. Like, if they put me in there with someone and he's a big crowd favorite again, like Sakara Manoff, and he ain't got no crowd behind him, and it's just me looking at him going, "Yeah, you ain't gonna do nothing now, are you?" And yeah, so I won't mind that, because I think, like I said to you, this is a warrior sport. It's one-on-one. Like, yeah, it's entertainment for people to watch, but this is one-on-one. This is who's better, and that's what I love.
That's it. And without sounding selfish, mate, as long as they let the press in, I'm happy.
Yeah,
as long as I.
You'll be in there. Don't worry about how they'll 100% have to let press in, because obviously, who wants?
I don't put you to, mate. It's like it's an interview. I love a show, man. I think your last one, everyone, you came up, and I think you were pleasantly surprised, weren't you? There was quite a few people. Mate.
Yeah, I was. But I was. It was about what 9, 10. And I was, and then you come in, so 11. I was like, I was real chuffed with that. I was. Yeah.
You had MMA Junkie there. You had, MMA Huddle. You had, I can't remember, MMA Crazy. You had all sorts of people there, man. Severe MMA. They're all there, and I said, I think
there as well.
Sorry.
We had the Finnish reporters there as well.
Oh, of course, yeah. We had the Finnish guys there, yeah, which was fantastic as well. Yeah. And it's just great, mate. It just shows the European series.
Get me a fight in Finland.
They what? Sorry.
I reckon they should get me a fight in Finland.
Yeah, do you fancy that?
That'd be sick. My surname's Finnish, Kauppinen. My dad's dad was Finnish. So that'd be a good place to get a show, Finland.
Do you know what? That's one thing I've never asked you. I've known you for this long, and I never asked you where your name comes from. Never knew you were Finnish.
You're like, what? Finland? Why would you want to go to Finland? Oh, yeah, it's because my name's Finnish. Yeah. That's why the Finnish people were there to talk to interviews as well.
No, that's what. No, and again, it's great because even when Melvin's fight was on and stuff, you got all like the Dutch media literally fly over just to speak to him, and all that sort of stuff as well.
They loved it. Yeah. They were big when Melvin, when me and him fought. Like, we finished the press conference in the cinema, went upstairs some food and that, and bang after bang after bang, interview for Melvin. I had like 2, and I was like, "Hey, anyone interview me?" And no, you're okay.
just bring the dog next time, mate. You'll attract loads of people then.
100%. Wherever I go, Aaron is coming with me. Passport, he is coming. He is now coming with me. No, he won't come with me.
He's the mascot, mate. He's got, mate. I'll tell you what. You sit him on your lap in those media days, sort of thing. You might have about 100 women, Dr. Evil style.
Yeah.
Oh, mate, gotta love that, man. I love it. But yeah, I've got to meet this dog still anyway, mate. I'm telling you, you've definitely got to bring him to one of the media days and just stick him in the press row. I'll look after him while you're in the cage. It's fine.
Yeah. He can sit mate. He'll cry. He'll be sat ringside because he's as much as a little tougher and a quality dog he is soft as shit. As in, if I put him on his lead, tie him up against the pole, and I walk more than 5 feet away and he can see me, he will cry like a little girl. Like, he is such a little girl. Like, you know what I mean? He slept in the bed with me. We had cuddles. Like, he got all attached, and now he can see you without being next to you. So yeah, he would sit there, and I'd be punching him, and he'd be
like. I'd be more worried that if anyone landed a strike on you, he'd try and jump in there and start trying to bite him. Like, right, that's my owner. I'm having you.
Yeah. Oh, he's nails there. Like, honestly, keep an eye on the Instagram. So we'll put videos up. Like, when I'm sat in the garden just chilling, It's a nice day out, you know what I mean, sit in the garden. I'll throw the ball and it'll bounce just before the fence and he'll just run in head first and pick the ball up and he's honestly, there's no sense to him at some point.
It's easy for them, this isolation, isn't it? You know, they still get their walk, they still get fed, he can run around the garden. He's probably happy you're home all the time.
Exactly. That's what I mean. He gets more time than anyone. Like before, obviously, I'd have to fit in friends and see family members, see training partners. Like I was busy, and I try and take him as much as I can. But you obviously you can't take him to training and that. Take him to work. So yeah, now he loves it. The fact that I'm with him near enough 24/7 for the next X amount of time.
Like having a wife.
Yeah, I'd rather him.
Yeah. He doesn't answer back as much, does he?
He won't. He'll forget things. All right, I can not feed him his favorite treat, and he will forget it. Like if I don't get a missus her favorite thing when she's not feeling the greatest, how the fuck am I supposed to know when I'm not a mind reader? I'm in trouble. So just keep a dog.
That dog will always be happy to see you, mate. Through anything, he'll always be there, happy to see you when you walk through that door, instead of getting shouted at because you ain't done the washing. Not saying my wife does that, by the way. Hope she ain't listening.
Putting headphones in at all cost.
Works for me. It's all good, man.
You can see her in video, everyone else, isn't it?
That's it, mate. That's it. Now, I'm not like, she's very supportive of everything I've done. She sits there thinking, "Are you doing?" I'll do like a 12-hour shift at work, then I'll come home and podcast for 3 hours and go to bed. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, man. That's got to be though. That's. I mean, a fair play to her for supporting you to do that, because a lot of people don't. A lot of women don't do that. A lot of men don't do that. But yeah, man, fair play to her.
It's the same. Same, my mates with fighters, you know, as well. Like if they didn't have the backing of their wives, so like they can go and train when they need to and stuff, you won't be where you are today. I'm telling you now, you will not be where you are today.
I looked into obviously when you get the YouTube hole, when you're chilling in the back of the garden on a nice day out, I get a YouTube hole, and I was looking at the Conor McGregor story, and obviously there's so many rumors going around about him, but he's so loyal with his people, as in like the woman he was collecting welfare checks for $120 every 2 weeks.
Yeah. Sleeping in his car, all sorts.
Sleeping in his car, and she was doing everything to try and make sure that. Excuse me. She was doing everything to try and make sure the dream came true, and that is actually the thing. That's the sacrifices you need. Everyone who falls short is because they're like, "Oh no, I won't sacrifice that." Like, no, you need to sacrifice that. Like, I have sacrificed as much as I can to make sure that I go on the right path now. I'm on the path I'm on. I'm doing everything I can not to come off it. And they're sacrifices you need. And if a woman came into my life and she couldn't accept that this is the job I'm going to live for the life I'm going to live for the next 5-10 years, hopefully, then that's my sacrifice to stay true to my career.
No, that's it, mate. That's it. Great attitude to have. And if a woman's going to come along anytime soon, you have to cut that hair. It's been a while, hasn't it? Remember?
You got a problem with this?
I haven't got a problem with that at all, man. Look, isolation hair.
I mean, I thought I was. Quite a few people have now told me to cut it.
No, not to cut it. It's just a lot longer than what it was when I last saw you fight in November.
Well, that's because the last time you saw me in November, I had it like pretty much short back and sides a week before, and now I've just gone. I'm going to grow it. Why not? I've got nothing else to do. I'm going to grow it. So after the fight, I decided to grow it, and now that the virus is preventing us from getting our haircuts, and to work, I've now got to grow it even longer.
What a shame. We'll see with dreadlocks in here.
Well, this is my point. I'm gonna be fighting next with dreadlocks.
Quality.
I'll come in some Bob Marley or Patience or Meditation.
I'll be telling her, wait for Kent to come out. He's a great guy, solid fighter, you know, he's really determined. You know, all of a sudden Bob Marley comes on, this dreadlock rasta comes walking out with
I come out in a scooter.
With Alan just like walking behind you, like walking along.
With a gold necklace and a gold chain. That would be good. Hey, hopefully I'd get the best entrance of 2021.
Definitely, mate. Well, you got some. What we had already, I think. We always have MVP usually walks out with big nasty rapping him out. I think Terry Brazier had a bit of a show to put on last time, didn't he? I think in his last fight.
Yeah. Fabian had some dances or something. Yeah, there's a few. But
I was walking backstage. I was backstage and I was thinking, so I see when you guys are waiting to come through the curtain, and I thought there's about 10 people here about to walk out. What's about to happen? Do you know what I mean? So,
is it a mob? Is there going to be a mob battle or something? But no, it was just a dance off.
6 on 6. I didn't think Bellator brought that in yet, to be fair.
New rule, apparently, it's coming in place. They thought they'd try it out with a dance crew. But yeah,
You've been served.
I wouldn't. Yeah, you got served. What a film that was. I'd say I'd watch that, but it was so bad then. I wouldn't want to watch it now. Actually, it was a good film. It was a breakdancing film. It was a good film.
Time though to watch these classics now. Like I rewatched all of the Rambos from 1 till the latest one now. I've done all the Rockies again. I'm a bit of a Stallone fan, to be honest with you. I've done all the Terminators, including the new one. I don't know what else to do now. I really should train, mate, to be fair.
You've done the proper retro ones then, like the good retro ones.
Beverly Hills Cop's next.
Well, one Beverly Hills Cop. Yeah, that's a good one.
1, 2, and 3.
Yeah. And then Lethal Weapon 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
That would be a good one. I like Martin Riggs. He's quality. But again, I don't watch TV. I've got a TV in my room. Well, I haven't got a TV in my room. I've got a PC monitor in my room because I have a PC and an Xbox. That's it. I don't watch TV.
That's actually quite common, mate. It's actually quite common with a lot of fighters, believe it or not. A lot of people I speak to, they don't actually have a TV. No, they have their monitor, they have their laptop, Xbox, anything like that. It saves on TV license, man.
Well, yeah, there's that, but I don't actually watch any of it. Like, everyone's on about series, and you've seen this series, and I'm like, no. Oh, watch it. I can't tell you I'm going to because I'm actually not going to watch it. So. I'm quite boring like that. Like, honest to God, if I bought a burger and she's like, "You'll watch Netflix," I'm like, well, "What's Netflix?" Just chill.
Just to chill, yeah. Just to chill.
They didn't say no Netflix. They said chill. Do you want to come around and chill? She's like, "Oh, I just assumed Netflix would be there before." But just shut up.
Yeah, that's it. Just you need to find yourself an MMA girl, mate. You can train with. I think that's what you need.
Nah, because I couldn't find. I always attract mental birds. Either whether that's me turning them mental, which I don't think it is. I have a long line of I have. I'm glad you find this amusing. I do not.
I attract mental birds. Sorry, man.
No. I swear to you now, if I could on a one-on-one conversation, I could give you a list of my exes and why they're mental, and you'd go, yeah, fair enough. Yeah. Oh, yeah, fuck me, really? Yeah, fair enough. Okay, yeah, all right, understandable. If they see this, they're going to go, fuck off, it's him. I was like, well, it's not. Can't be all of them. Like, well, who knows? It's either me or it's them. So that's why I'm staying clear of women. I
can't wait to see the comments on this YouTube video when it goes up.
I'm going to tag all my exes in there. And say, just skip to this bit.
Skip to 43 minutes. It's about that sort of time.
How many phone calls do you think I would get? Oh, God.
Oh, mate, it's amazing, mate. I always have a good way.
I'd do it. I'd happily do it. Like, that's why I don't mind talking about it. I will talk about anything. I have no issues. It's part of my life. I'm an open person. I can character book. People who know me, if you want to know something, like, you just ask the question and I'll give you the answer straight away.
Yeah, no, you've told me a lot through the past. You've even opened up in the past about, mental health and all that sort of stuff with me and getting through all that through these times. And it's just great to see, obviously, in these times now of lockdown and everything, mate, you're managing to keep busy, keeping yourself feeling good, positive as well, which is the main thing. Yeah, it's good to hear. It's good to see.
If this was 4 years ago, I would not want to be at home. I could not be in my house. I couldn't. No. So it's worked for a lot to be able to sit here on my own but I could sit on my own all day and just sit there and meditate and just chill. I'm okay with that now. But yeah, I went through a lot of hard times.
Yeah, man, but it's just, as I said, it's got to be good now with all your Bellator career now. And how long ago did you get the dog? Was it 4 years ago by any chance?
No. He come 14 months ago.
Oh, was that it? Really?
I got him December 16th last year. He's 14 months old, sorry.
He's only 14 months. Oh, right. So I thought you had him for a little while now, sort of thing. Sorry about that. I thought that might have been your way of, to get through things, get a dog, keep me company.
No. What it was I won my fight against Sakara. Obviously, I got paid. I got offered a certain amount, and if I won, they doubled it.
Yeah.
Like they do it everywhere. Show up money and then win money. And I was like, yeah, sweet, yeah, I just won X amount of money. I'm gonna buy a dog. What should I buy? I'll buy a Frenchie. Fuck it, yeah, let's do it. I want a Frenchie.
Is that what you always wanted? Yeah, always wanted one of them.
No, never. I was with a girl at the time, and she was like, "You should buy a Frenchie," and I was like, "Should I?" She's like, "Yeah, you should get a Frenchie," and I was like, "Oh, I'll get a Frenchie." So I bought a Frenchie, and then we broke up like 3 weeks later. So I was like, "Oh, cool, I've at least got a Frenchie."
At least you got the dog still, mate. That's it. You kept the most important.
She would never have had the dog. It wasn't bought for her. It was just bought for me. But it was the fact that she was like, "Oh, get a Frenchie. They're such good dogs." And in all fairness, he is a great dog. Like, he is so cool. He's so fun. We go for nature walks. Not right now. Not so much walks. We do little walks, but not big ones. Obviously, what's going on. But in the summer last year, when he was about 7-8 months old, we got up to a big woods and he'd love it.
That's nice, mate. It's nice that you can do that as well, and it's nice you didn't try to take the dog away from you as well, mate. I'm sure you wouldn't have had it, but
Death would have been brought upon her.
Fair enough, mate. I'll tell you what, Ken, mate. As always, mate, man. I won't keep you any longer, man. But it's always a pleasure chatting to you. I could chat to you for absolutely hours, mate. I really could, mate. And again, I really appreciate you coming on my show. I know you've spoken to me before in the past, so new show. It's really good to have.
Yeah, mate. Break the ice. Are you going to do videos more often? Are they always going to be videoed?
Yeah, I'm doing video going forward now. So apologies to everyone. I'm literally sitting here with a laptop or my phone through FaceTime sort of thing, through Skype. So I'm trying to improve the quality, the sound quality, trying to get different microphones, stuff. But hey, I've watched a few so far. They seem all right. So
I was going to say, you sound clear. I watched the one with Charlie the other day. I watched a bit of that the other day.
And I find it's a bit loud. I've noticed when I was speaking like this, it's a bit too much. But when I come away from it, because the other side is quite quiet, so what I might ask you all to do going forward is put some headphones in yourself, like some iPhone headphones or something.
Yeah. Was this quiet now?
No, it's fine, mate. It's fine. Yeah. Completely fine. It's because I was too loud before. But I said that to my wife, and she said, "Well, you are just a loud person." I went, "Oh, brilliant, thanks."
Well, do you know what I mean? You have got quite a loud, normal talking voice, haven't you? Like a strong talking voice.
You know that voice you can hear like through the wall sort of thing, like the deep vibrating sound. It's like
from a distance there is a man. Voiceovers. You should look at doing voiceovers.
Do you know what, someone did say once, he says you should be like a news reporter, like on TV, like this is the 8 p.m. news.
From a small town far away.
If I might as well be. I'm sitting. If I turn the camera around now, mate, my wife would kill me. I'm sitting in a bomb site. I've got the cleanest section of the spare room here. Do you know what
I mean? You just lit a circle around where you want to sit. Yeah. The camera moves more, you'll see. Yeah, there it is.
There's a few things knocking about. There's the old gym training mat, things just knocking about everywhere.
So you've got everything next to you.
Yeah, basically, I could quickly hang up the washing while I was here, to be fair. I'm looking at it all now.
You won't be biting your ass later on when she finds out you haven't actually done it then.
No, that's it, mate. Well, luckily, she's sleeping quite a lot at the moment, so it's okay. So.
Yeah, give her my best as well for that.
I will do, mate. Yeah.
It's going to be a tough time because we don't know if this is going to come to an end now or sooner or how long it's going to go on for. So I do wish you the best pregnancy and birth.
Appreciate it, mate. Because also the thing is that she had her first scan the other day. I'm not allowed to go, which is annoying. Do you know what I mean? My mate's missus just gave birth recently, and he couldn't be present. He had to sit at home and stuff like that. So, but you know what? Needs must. These things have got to be done.
100%. 100%, and you've got to do it because the other day a 13-year-old girl or boy passed away from coronavirus, but they died with doctors, nurses, strangers around them, and their family couldn't have been there. So, this is what I don't understand. Like people who've got having kids coming on the way or got young kids, like it's so susceptible for everyone to get caught with this. It's such a danger.
Exactly, and just everyone's just got to take this time to appreciate the little things they got in life, and just stay at home and keep safe. I know some people think, fuck it, it don't matter, blah blah blah, but you just got to do it. The quicker everyone does it, like you said, the quicker we can get out there again and start. Well, you start fighting again, and me start chatting to you after shows. I was gutted when May 16th was cancelled. I had my press pass for UFC in London. That was cancelled. I was like, oh man.
Yeah, because that was a big one as well. That was Woodley and Leon. Yeah, that I would like to have seen that.
Yeah, mate, there were loads of good fights in that card. Like a lot of people didn't recognise some of the names because there are a lot of the UK Cage Warriors sort of guys, who are coming up through the ranks and things like that. But man, that was going to be such a great night. And I haven't been doing this for long enough to actually be around in the UK when there is a card on. So it would have been my first UFC as well, which would have been cool.
Yeah.
But mate, Bellator, I'm not going to lie, it's one of the most fantastic experiences I've ever had. So professional. David Green looks after us all, comes and says hello to all of us. And I can't really fault him, to be honest with you. It's always really good. And I've actually up on the wall, as soon as you walk in, you've got all my press passes all hanging up on the wall as well. So it might be sad, but I don't care.
Why is that sad?
Some people go, "Oh, you collected them or something?" I was like, "Well,
no,
but
I've got mine. I've got the ones from the 3 events I've done. Like, so what? Like, it's a moment and it's a big achievement. Your press pass. So what? I mean, stuff them fucking. It's not sad, man. Don't think that, innit?
I don't think it's sad.
It's great, man. Yeah, 100%. Go to as many as you can.
I remember it was about 2 years ago. I was sitting in the O2 Arena at a UFC event, and I said to my wife, I said, like, I know I'm not going to be able to fight because of rugby injuries and things like that. But I was looking at the press row. I was like, that's where I want to be. That is my dream, to get down there and chat to these fighters, and it happened. And happy days, mate. And I'm chatting a professional fighter right now in front of me. Who's fought some of the best people in the world. And you can't really go wrong, mate, to be honest with you. It's all a win. So thank you very much, mate, for coming on as always. And you know what I mean? I appreciate it. I appreciate it so much. You don't understand, honestly.
Yeah, no, mate, and say I do as well. Like, say you're the one who wants to interview me. Like, that's never happened. That never happened. So I do appreciate that, man.
I'm just gonna be your PA, mate. I'm gonna be your personal.
Yeah, we're in it. You can be personal PI, personal interview.
PI. That's it. I'll be your PA. I'll follow you around everywhere. We'll do like an embedded show, like UFC do. I'll follow you around all your training. We'll see what you're getting up to day to day and all that sort of stuff.
You get all bitchy if other reporters try to talk to me.
If what? Sorry.
If other reporters try to talk to me, would you get all bitchy and be like, "Oh no, don't do that. No, you can't take a picture of him."
Yeah, mate. The claws are coming out. I don't care, mate. I want a contract. Yeah. There's no. This 2 meter rule is going to stick forever with you, mate. I'm telling you. Apart from me, that's it.
Ideal.
Anyway, man, Ken, I'm going to let you go, mate. Now, okay. But again, I've said it a lot of times. Appreciate you coming on, and and it's really nice to hear that you don't need all this entertainment. You're happy at home, just relaxing, meditating, training, chilling with your little dog. It's just inspiring for a lot of people out there to you can get through it. You can work this, and mate. And again, you're on your own there with the dog. It's not as if you have any other human interaction.
Yeah, no, mate. Yeah, and the thing is, like I say, I will talk to anyone as well who needs help. People message me and just say, "Oh, how are you getting on? Like, what do you recommend about this?" And it's just, I'll happily talk to people because, like I said, if I'm sat here just chilling or relaxing, and I get a message from someone who says, "Oh, do you mind helping me with this?" Then yeah, bang, I'll help them out with that.
That's it, mate. And that's what I've always liked about yourself as well, mate. You've always got time for everyone. You've been through it. You always have time to talk to people about their problems. You're not just over-egoed about yourself. And even though you have fought some of the biggest names in the organisation already, far be it, I know you fought Fabian in Bama, I think it was, but still, he's one of the biggest names in Bellator now. And obviously Walter as well, big name as well. So, mate, you can't knock yourself back, and it's good that you haven't got the arrogance to go along with it. I know some people like to carry that arrogance to get fights and things, but you're getting fights just doing what you're doing, mate. So
yeah, and the thing is, like, I'm not bothered about changing, being who I am to try and get more fights. Like, as soon as I step in there and I knock people out, I'm going to get fights. So I'm just happy just here, and hopefully people like who I am. Like, hopefully I don't have to be like Kobe Covington and changing my personality, or like Conor McGregor has to put that persona on for people to like. But hopefully they'll just like me for who I am, and the fact that I'm a nice guy who will knock people out. Hopefully that's what they like.
Mate, don't become the most cringiest person. That Kauppinen, he just cringes me. He's a fantastic fighter. Don't get me wrong. He's got some incredible stand-up work and stuff, mate. Yeah, but I mean, what a dick. I don't care if he's listening to it now, mate.
He even admitted why he had to do it. Like, he was on a 6-7 fight win streak. They were going to cut him. So he was like, all right, if you're going to cut me, I'm going to turn into the bad guy, and then you're going to want me here because everyone hates me. And that's what he did. Like, he turned into the bad guy, become an asshole, and no one liked him, but yet he got fight.
That's it. I just don't like the whole thing where you walk around with a belt, you know, when you've been stripped. That winds me up, sort of thing. You know?
No, I completely agree. Everything he's done is completely and utterly, I do not back it. He is a wanker. But he has to do it for that way because that's the showman side of it, isn't it? The entertainment side.
Yeah, McGregor did it very well.
Yeah,
Chelsea
he did it super well. Yeah, other people have done it really well. Like, I'm just gonna see how it works out with being me and that.
That's it, mate. Well, you got to look at people. Chael Sonnen was the original one, you know. Look how many fights he got. He got John Jones. He got Anderson Silva. He got every fight.
He got Anderson twice, didn't he?
Sorry, Anderson twice. Yeah, because the first one he was dominating for 5 rounds, and then in halfway through the 5th, Anderson threw a triangle up.
Yeah, did he put something? He said something about like he tapped because he thought it would be scored by the rounds. Then I saw an interview the other day. I was just like, okay. But yeah, like you say, he got 2 fights down to silver, at least 200 grand each. So he's made a good wonga off that. Like, getting those big name fights, that's what everyone wants. They want the money fights. So he's done that by chatting shit and getting it. I'm just going to do it by knocking people out.
That's it, mate, and that's what you're doing, mate. And I want to keep seeing it happening. Well, I'm not going to lie to you, mate. My screen has gone nearly black. I think I'm on 2%. So
we said 20 minutes ago we're going to cut this off, but 20 minutes later, just cut it.
No, mate. No, it's all good because you're an easy person to chat to, mate. Easy person to interview, and it's like sitting down the pub talking to you, mate, instead of on a podcast. So no, it's much appreciated.
And back to you.
And hopefully we can finally get in a pub one day and get within 2 meters of each other. You know, so that's it.
Hopefully the next show.
100%, mate. Well, I'll let you go, mate. But thank you again very much, and I can't wait to have a chat with you again and see you fight in the cage again, mate. It's going to be brilliant.
It'll be soon, hopefully.
Cheers, Ken. I know we'll keep in touch.
And you. See you soon, mate. Bye-bye.